If Islam Makhachev ends up losing to Jack Della Maddalena, things could get messy fast. Michael Bisping and Paul Felder both believe Ilia Topuria would be in no rush to grant Makhachev a title shot if the Dagestani lightweight champ fails in his attempt to move up. The reason is, Makhachev made it extremely difficult for Ilia to get this super fight in the first place, dragging negotiations, pushing for other matchups, and even hinting at skipping Ilia altogether. And it makes sense. If Islam loses, not only does he take a dent to his aura of invincibility, but the storyline of champ versus champ dies on the spot. That, of course, if the Georgian manages to go through Oliveira, which is far from an easy task, Ilia won't be obligated to entertain the Islam matchup at all, especially with names like Arman Sarukian, Justin Gaethje, and even Ilia's own featherweight contenders potentially waiting. Now, Islam did make it clear on Twitter that he's not vacating his lightweight belt, which means even if he loses at 170, he still plans to defend 155. But if the UFC doesn't let Islam keep his lightweight belt while moving up, things could get messy if he loses at welterweight. And knowing how Ilia operates, proud, calculated, and spiteful when crossed, a title shot might not be waiting for Islam on the other side.
Exactly, that kind of takes away from the whole shebang of it all if there's only one strap. But are we going to do an interim title whilst that happens? Because Islam could get injured. Islam could lose the fight also, as we just said. And then you've got Ilia Topuria versus Charles do Bronx. Let's just say for the sake of conversation, Ilia Topuria wins that. And then he might be like, nah, I ain't fighting Islam coming off a loss. He's going to go win one first. The things, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, if you all want to start being dicks, you know, they can do that. They say, well, you wouldn't fight me because I wasn't worthy. Well, now I'm the champ. And now you're coming off a loss. And that's where Dana and Hunter are like, these guys.
Yeah, once they get some leverage, these guys, you know what I mean? That's when they're like, God damn it, he's got a point. And I hate that he's got a point.
Because Ilia would have, let's just, and then this is, you know, crystal ball. If Islam did lose to Jack,
Big John McCarthy and Josh Thomson broke down the possibility of a Colby Covington versus Belal Muhammad clash, and despite Colby's current spot much lower in the rankings, Big John believes it's still the fight to make. The reason? Simple. It sells. The rivalry is real. The trash talk between these two has been brewing for years, and the lead-up would be nothing short of chaotic, and beyond the promo gold, this matchup is a banger stylistically. Colby's relentless pressure and pace against Belal's high fight IQ, chain wrestling, and well-rounded game makes this a fascinating clash. Colby thrives on volume and cardio, but Belal's defensive wrestling and striking evolution could neutralize that grind. Both guys love to drown opponents. It's the kind of matchup where bad blood meets pure grit, and it could absolutely shake up the welterweight landscape. Ranking-wise, a matchup against Kamaru Usman or even a trilogy fight with Leon Edwards could make more sense for Belal. Still, Colby's trash talk has taken him a long way in the past. What do you think about this fight? Leave your comments below.
I'm being honest when I go, I want the fight that's going to really kind of get me excited. The fight that I think has got more rage to it. That's Belal Muhammad versus Colby Covington.
Ah, you son of a bitch. You got took my fight.
Oh. Damn, the stars aligned again. We're in trouble.
Yeah.
I think that's a great matchup, and I think those two guys will bring frickin' nothing but fireworks to that. And I think it'd be a good fight because Colby cannot just out wrestle him. Yeah. You know, he's gonna have to be on the feet with him, and I think Belal's better on the feet. He's got more power on the feet. I think it's a great matchup, and you know, Colby has said things. Back him up now.
Throw him into somebody that has huge name recognition, who just talks and talks and talks, and allow him to put a beating on him. Let's just see what happens. But look, two guys are both known for their conditioning and their cardio. Both guys are known for their wrestling. Belal's gotten a lot better on the stand-up, and
Colby's better on the stand-up.
A little bit better on the stand-up, but
the tension between Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev is clearly reaching a boiling point. What started as a bit of verbal jabbing has now turned into a full-blown feud, and it seems like with every new interaction, the hostility is only growing. It all began when El Matador confidently claimed that Islam was moving up to welterweight because he was afraid of facing him. He didn't just stop there. Ilia insisted he would beat Islam, and even went so far as to say he'd handle him in a street fight. Naturally, that didn't sit well with the lightweight champ, champ. Makhachev fired back by telling the Georgian to earn a proper title shot before mentioning his name, but the back and forth didn't cool down. Over time, it snowballed into something far more personal. Islam recently addressed the whole situation in an interview and made it clear he's had enough. He said Ilia's been running his mouth a little too much, and hinted that if they happen to bump into each other, things might not end with just a conversation. Islam even said a fight could break out if it comes to that, though he didn't specify whether he meant inside the cage or somewhere else entirely. But that wasn't the end of it. Things escalated when Islam's teammate, UFC flyweight Tagir Ulanbekov, ran into Topuria in Dubai. According to Tagir himself, he confronted Ilia face to face and demanded he explain the street fight comments and everything else he's been saying publicly. Tagir claims he was there to defend his teammate and called out Ilia directly for disrespecting Islam. In an interview with a Russian channel, Ushateka, Tagir said the following when describing the incident, quote, "Me and the team were in Dubai, so I was just walking with one of my teammates in the city at night. That's when I suddenly ran into him near the mall that's closest to where I stay. It's a big one, so there's always a lot of people there. He wasn't alone also, so I called him by his name and told him like, come here, let's speak for a moment. When he saw me, he started saying something to whoever he had with him, like warning them about me. And then he started yelling things out to me, so I tried to approach him. But security and a lot of people were there, so nothing could really happen. But I told him I would break his teeth if he sees me one-on-one. He was shouting something too. I don't know, but anyway, that's all that was." End quote. At this point, it's no secret there's real animosity between these two camps. Whether this eventually builds toward a blockbuster fight or spills over in another way, one thing is clear: the bad blood is very real. The new welterweight king isn't backing down. After Islam Makhachev made it clear he's eyeing a move up to challenge for a second belt, Jack Della didn't stay silent. The Aussie champ fired back confidently, saying Islam is underestimating him, just like Belal Muhammad did before getting dethroned. Jack made it clear, if Makhachev wants this, he's ready for the challenge. It's a very intriguing matchup stylistically, known for his suffocating top game, elite chain wrestling, and ability to nullify opponents with relentless control. Islam blends striking just enough to close the distance and force grappling exchanges. His cardio is elite, and he rarely takes damage. On the other hand, Jack Della is one of the most precise strikers in the UFC. Jack's boxing is slick, clean, and deadly accurate, and his takedown defense has improved massively. Has it improved enough to stop the Dagestani dominance? We'll find out.
I reckon he's going to underestimate me as well.
You like that, though?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, for sure. But it doesn't really matter what he thinks. We're gonna fight. I'm excited.
Do you think that he will fight Ilia first and then fight you, or do you think that now?
I don't know. I actually don't know. But I think, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm ready for the challenge. But there's also the welterweight division. There's a lot of good challenges as well. So it's crazy how the welterweight division sort of kind of opened up a lot. Now there's a lot of challenges, and now you also have Makhachev going to wanting to step up. So yeah, big decisions to be made by the big dog.
That's it from MMA Psycho. Leave your predictions for this potential banger in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.